Hello, welcome along to today's solve of a Telegraph Cryptic Crossword. Today we're going to have a crack at prize cryptic number 31061. If you're new to cryptic crosswords and you want to learn how to demystify them and see how clues are set up and how to solve them, then you're in the right place. And also if you're perhaps a more experienced cryptic crossword solver, just here to hone your skills or try out perhaps a new style of crossword or from a new supplier, a new paper, then welcome along as well. So we'll go through the clues one by one. Hopefully we'll solve them all, and I'll try and explain each one as we go and how the clues are formed and how the answer is derived. So let's crack on and start as we always do with one across. Smitten gay men date heartless Trojan hunk. Okay. Tricky start. Yeah, not seeing that. My guess is it probably means Trojan hunk. I don't see how that would be wordplay per se, but I'm not seeing that one. So let's go on. 5 across. Lucky animal in mum's bed. Yeah. So this is mascot. So when we look at cryptic crosswords and we're trying to solve them, about 75% of cryptic clues have a straight part and a cryptic part. And usually the straight part is either at the beginning or the end, and the other half of the clue is the cryptic part, the wordplay part, which tells us how to resolve the clue. So looking at this, mum is often used in cryptic crosswords as abbreviated to Ma, M-A. So mum's bed is Ma's cot. So that's the cryptic part, and then the straight part, the definition part, is lucky animal. Excuse my sore throat, I've had a bit of a cold this week. Anyway, so yes, 5 across, lucky animal, Ma's cot. Okay, 9 across, on time, with time, league, organised training. Well, organised is an anagram indicator. So I'll be organising the word training. That's 8 letters. That would leave the straight part of the clue to be on time with time, which seems a bit curious. If we anagramize the word league, that's 6 letters. So we need to find 2 more letters from this part of the clue. Well, T is a recognised abbreviation for time. Yeah, so this is tutelage. So we've got on time, T, with time, another T, league, organised. So the word league anagramized, rearranged, gives tutelage, which is training. Good. 10 across. Made to smile with a thought. Okay, not seeing. Maybe an anagram of made can be an anagram indicator. So smile with a to give a word meaning thought. What about if it's what about it's amused? So mused, M-U-S-E-D, mused is thought. If you muse about something, you think about it, with a, the letter A at the beginning, and amused is made to smile. That's good. 12 across. British artist at home was hard to indoctrinate. Yeah, so there are some abbreviations in this one. This is, I think, brainwash. So B is a recognised abbreviation for British. RA is a recognised abbreviation for artist, as in a Royal Academician, a member of the Royal Academy of Art based in London. At home, if you're at home, you're in, so that's IN. Was is literally was, and H is a recognised abbreviation for hard. So if you add BRA in was H, you get brainwash, which is to indoctrinate. Now, if you're a bit confused about some of these recognised abbreviations, you can't just abbreviate any word you want into its initial letter or initial couple of letters. The definition has to appear in a recognised English dictionary like Oxford or Collins or those sort of things. And if you're interested, I've produced a guidebook, a little guide booklet with about 9 pages worth of standard abbreviations that you often see in crosswords. It's free to download. The link is in the description below. Just click on the link, it should also download. And also in that little booklet, there is an explanation of the 12 cryptic clue types. So how to recognize them, how they're set up, with a few worked examples to help you on your way with the different types of crossword clues that you might come across. So if that's of any help to you, feel free, it's in the description below. And with that said, let's go on. Jumbly's craft is returned the night before. Okay. So the Jumblies I know is from an Edward Lear poem. And they went to sea in a sieve, I think. So the Jumbly's craft is a sieve. And we get that from is returned. So literally the word is written the other way around, S-I. And the night before is Eve. So is returned and Eve gives sieve, which is the Jumbly's craft. Okay. Lookers saw in vogue, not ultimately cool. Okay, so ultimately cool is telling us to look for the last letter of cool, which is L. And so not ultimately cool, I think we're trying to remove L from a word that maybe means vogue. Yeah. This is sty. So a sty is a sore that you might get in your eye. So a looker in this sense is referring to your eye. Vogue is style. So if you're in vogue, you're in style. And then you remove, so not the ultimate letter of cool, no L, from style, gives sty. Good. Short step allowed in 3 rhyming lines. Yeah, well, a 3-line poem is known as a triplet. So 2 lines is a couplet, 3 lines is a triplet. So a short step might be a trip. If something is allowed, it's let. So you let it happen, you allow it. So triplet gives triplet, which is a 3 rhyming line verse. Okay, 19. Like French and German articles in pieces. So you often get references to foreign words. They're usually European foreign words, French words, German words, sometimes Italian or Spanish. And usually it's articles, so it would be the definite article or the indefinite article. So it would be words meaning the or a. So French, or in this case, maybe this is saying the French words for and. Possibly. So French word for and would be et, et. Could be le or la. German words and is und. Or the would be der, die or das. What about asunder? So like is as. If it's like something, it is as something. Un is the French word for the, or a, in the masculine term. Der is the masculine term in German for a, I think, der, die and das. So un, der and as gives asunder, which means in pieces. Okay, 21. Person unknown from a crown dependency. Yeah, this is Manx. So unknown and similar words appear often in crosswords, and they relate to the unknown in mathematical formulae. So X is an unknown often in a mathematical formula. Sometimes Y is an unknown, and indeed Z can be sometimes an unknown letter as well. But usually X and sometimes Y is referred to when you see the word unknown. So a person is a man. X for the unknown gives Manx, so somebody from the Isle of Man, which is a crown dependency. Couple with pound for peasant. Okay, couple. So a couple It's often a pair, which could be PAIR, it could be PR, which is an abbreviation for pair sometimes. Pound. A pound is often abbreviated to L, as in the old imperial pounds, shillings and pence, LDS, LSD, pounds, shillings and pence. So I guess there's probably an L in there, but I'm not seeing that one. Let's go on. General's wife, some French fiend initially assailed. So again, we've got another French word come up. Sometimes French friend appears, which is ami, but in this case it's French fiend. So I think we're looking for the word for French word for some, which I think is de, D-E. So I think there's a D in there somewhere. Potentially W for wife. W is a recognised abbreviation for wife. I don't see that one. Let's go on to Mrs. Batty. I'm a big Last of the Summer Wine fan, so Mrs. Batty is Nora. So Nora must be in here somewhere. Yeah, this is anorak. So Mrs. Batty is Nora. Marks periodically. This is not a reference to the clothing shop. This is saying take the periodical or alternate occasional letters of the word marks. And if you take the second and fourth letters of marks, you get A and K. So if you put Nora in A and K, you get anorak, which is a garment. Okay, 28. Established church in French region. So church is another standard word that comes up quite regularly and is usually abbreviated to either CH, which is what some of you might see on a map reference, or CE for Church of England. Sometimes RC for Roman Catholic as well, but usually CH or CE. So I think we're looking for probably a French region here, with a word meaning established and then either CH or CE at the end. Yeah, not massively hot on my French regions and départements, but let's go on. 29 across. Program from tech giant, leader in tech. So a program these days is known as an app. Yeah, which is actually, I think, short for an applet. So applet is the program. Tech giant is obviously Apple. Leader in tech, literally the leading letter of tech, is T. Very good. 30 across. Students exploit master. Students in longer clues would be used to represent the letter L, as in a learner. So students plural could be double L if it was in the middle of a clue. Sometimes it's also form. You obviously had your forms in school, but not seeing that one. I suspect it probably, does it mean master? Don't know. Let's go on. One down. Deer raised by mysterious millionaire. So deer can be roe, buck, stag. Yeah, okay. So that's Gatsby. So the deer is the stag. So stag raised, so put in reverse, GATS, by, literally the word by. So the mysterious millionaire, the great Gatsby. 2 down, fair comment. I think this is not bad. Not a bad clue. Fair comment, not bad. Sort of slightly cryptic. I suppose it could almost be an and lit. So an and lit is a particular type of clue where the clue is both the straight part and the definition part, and it's sort of that. The question mark on the end here of clues usually implies some sort of little quirk or maybe a slight joke or a bit of tongue-in-cheek wordplay. as well. So that it's sort of an and lit, I guess. But yeah, fair play. So fair comment is not bad, and not bad is a fair comment. 3 down. Staff gathered around the Italian financial centre. So now we have another European word. The Italian word for the is il, I-L, and this is Milan. So staff is man, man up, staff up kind of thing. Gathered around il, which is the in Italian, gives a financial centre, which is Milan. 4 down. Lower rank, Democrat, lower in rank, Democrat agreed changes. Yeah, so this is changes is the anagram indicator here. So agreed is 6 letters, and D is a recognised abbreviation for Democrat. So if you put that and the letters from agreed, we get degrade, which is to lower in rank. Right to enter guilty plea. That looks like admission, I think. Yeah. Admission. So this is what we call a double definition clue. So we're looking for one word that means both parts. So it's effectively two straight parts. So there's a straight part that means right to enter, and another straight part that is a guilty plea, maybe. So a double definition, 2 straight parts, looking for the word that means both of those things, and which in this case is admission. 7 down, C26 down. So this is what you often see, or you see more regularly in prize cryptics, certainly in the Telegraph, where you see words, solutions using multiple clue entries. Makes it a bit tougher, because if you don't get one part, if you don't get the second part, you can't get the first part, and so you end up with 2 empty clue spaces. Sometimes it can help a little bit, because you might be able to get the answer. We've got a lot of the checking letters here, so we might be able to get that. Maybe perhaps I'll have a look at that now. Let's see what it actually is. So, cellist loves silly old singer-songwriter. Yeah, okay. So in this case, it's actually helped us with all those checking letters. So silly in this case is an anagram indicator for cellist loves. And if you rearrange cellist loves, bearing in mind these checking letters, you get the singer-songwriter Elvis Costello. I think you have to be probably be of a certain age to know that. But anyway, there we go, Elvis Costello. That's good. 8 down. Conman and 2 Lawrences dine on hearts. 3-5. Yeah, this is a clever clue. So this is a really good clue. It's really well written, in that it's written to suggest that we're looking for a con man would be somebody who cons you, somebody who tricks you. Of course, con is also an abbreviation for conservative, particularly with a capital C, although this is the beginning of the sentence. So actually the straight part is a conservative man, a famous conservative MP. 2 Lawrences here are T.E. Lawrence and D.H. Lawrence. So you've got T.E. and D.H. Dine is eat, and H is a recognised abbreviation for hearts, as in the pack of cards, the suits and a deck of cards. Clubs, hearts, diamonds, spades, CHDS are all recognised abbreviations. So hearts in this case is H. So we've got T.E. Lawrence, D.H. Lawrence, Dine, and H for hearts gives Ted Heath, famous conservative. Okay, French feline in casual conversation. Okay, another foreign word today. This is chat, and this is effectively another double definition. The French word for a cat is le chat, C-H-A-T, and obviously chat is casual conversation. So you certainly need to know a bit about your European languages today in this one. And again, this might be typical of a prize cryptic. This is a Saturday prize cryptic, which is typically not as difficult as the Sunday, but certainly the prize cryptic, again, would often have things like maybe some Latin words, or in today's case, seem to have quite a few European words in the answers. So you need to have a bit more knowledge about those in order to work through this fairly quickly. Okay, 15 down. Crashing bore, corrupted live data, wife enters. So this looks like, so again, we said before wife could be W. We didn't get that one, did we? That was a bit earlier on, general's wife. So corrupted here, I think, looking again with the checking letters too, this looks like an anagram of live data and W for wife. That would give us the 9 letters we need. And it means crashing bore, which I think in this case is tidal wave. So crashing bore, I think we're meant to think more about somebody who bores you, perhaps by talking a lot and droning on about something. But actually, this is more a reference to the sea and to water and a tidal bore and so on. And so a tidal wave in this case as a corruption of live data and W. Okay, 17 down with lots of A's in it. Singer last to apply choke in Russian car. Yeah, why? With all those A's, and I know a Russian car is a larder, so I guess we're looking for Lady Gaga here. So last to apply is Y. To choke is to gag, so we've got Y and gag. In Russian car, so in the larder, L-A-D-A, gives Lady Gaga, which is a singer. Okay, musical comedy, avoids publisher. Again, looking at those letters, I think this is duck soup. Oops. Yeah. So Duck Soup is a musical comedy. I think that's a Marx Brothers comedy, Duck Soup. To avoid something is to duck it. So avoids is ducks, and the publisher is Oxford University Press. So ducks, O-U-P, gives Duck Soup, which is a musical. Good, cracking on the down clues today. That's really good. Rough diamonds in Parisian street. Okay, another test of your French today. A French street is a rue, R-U-E. D for diamonds. We've already had H for hearts, as I said earlier. D for diamonds in rue gives rude, which is rough. 21. Fog with beginnings of rain and light wind. Well, seeing that M there, fog is mist. Beginning of rain is R, beginning of and is A, beginning of light is L. And we get mistral, and a mistral is a wind. In fact, it's quite a light wind, I think. But in this case, this is telling us to take mist and the beginnings of R-A-L to give mistral. Region into rain, so bear up country. Okay. So this is a curious combination of words here. Terrain, so bear up country. And I'm looking at this and thinking there's a reason why these words are here. In fact, there's a reason why these letters are here. These letters are important, particularly. I'm not seeing any obvious anagram indicator, so it doesn't look like it's an anagram. But yeah, if you take a region of, so a part of the words terrain, so bear, and you write it up, this is a down clue, so in reverse order, you do get Bosnia. So this is a hidden clue. Hidden clue, sometimes we call it a container clue. So A-I-N-S-O-B written upwards gives Bosnia, which is the country. Good, 23 down. That will complete all the down clues in one sweep, blimey. Okay, 23 down. Person consulting doctor, not one generally accessible. Yeah, so this is patent. So a person consulting a doctor would be a patient. Not one, so I is the Roman numeral 1. So if you take the I out of patient, you get patent, which is something that's generally accessible. Something that's patent, is clear, it's open, it's obvious. Very good. Okay, so we've whittled through those quite quickly. Pleased with that. Just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying the video today, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it, and maybe consider subscribing so you'll be notified when there's more videos from me on crossword solving. That would be great. And with all that said, let's see if we can finish these off. What's 24 crossed with a Y then? Couple with pound for peasant. So we've got the L. Okay, so I'd got the wrong sort of couple. So this is what isn't couple as in two or a pair or even a few. It's to couple. If you couple something to something else, you yoke it. So a yoke is a coupling with L for pound, as we said, gives peasant, which is a yokel. Okay, general's wife, some French fiend initially assailed. I think this is Desdemona, I assume was a general's wife. I have to say I don't know the context of who Desdemona was, but we can go look that up later. But I think that's right. So some French is des. A fiend would be a demon, demon, and initially assailed is literally the initial letter of assailed, which is A. Okay, this has suddenly got an awful lot easier. A French region is obviously Provence. So something that is established is proven. Proven, CE for church, as we said. And that gives Provence, which is your French region. Okay, definitely a very European feeling crossword today. Lots of references to French and German and Italian. That's good. Good stuff. Students exploit master. Yeah. Okay, so this is class act. So looking at this now, with only these three letters, it would seem that probably master is the straight part. So a word for students then is class. So I said form earlier. I didn't say class, or that was in my head, but I didn't say it. So class to an exploit is an act. So it's an exploit, something and doing an event. So an act, and a class act is a master. Okay. So who's this Trojan hunk? I think this is Ganymede, I guess. Yeah, so it's an anagram of gay men. Date heartless is DE. So smitten, I suppose here is the anagram indicator. So we have Gany, if I can spell it right, MEDE. Great. And there we are. That's that one done. That's not too bad in 27 minutes. So this is a prize crossword, so I need to make sure I don't post it before the closing date, so there's no spoilers and no cheating. So I'll make sure this comes out after the closing date. I'll just go and look up when that is. With all that being said, that's that one done for today. So thanks very much for joining. I say, if you enjoyed that, please consider giving the video a thumbs up and a like. It really helps the algorithm to point newer channels, smaller channels like this to the right people, so that would be much appreciated. If my little download helps you with clue types or abbreviations, just click the link in the description below and that'll download to you. With all that being said, we'll stop it there. So enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you're up to. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully see you again soon. Cheers. Bye.